Ding, ding, ding! Hello! Hello! Everyone, wake up! Wake up! The Xbox Series X is now released! It came out today! And guess what? Your boy didn't get one! I don't have a review copy, but I can still talk about it. Apparently, it's a pretty successful launch from what I know. I don't have one myself. If you know anyone at Microsoft, let them know your boy's calling to give me one ASAP so I can give it a fair review. But until then, I'm just going to give it what I know from what I've read, from what I've heard, and what you can anticipate if you're going to purchase one of these Xbox Series X models. I always thought that the Xbox model names are just kind of really weird, their naming structure. It went from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One to Xbox Scarlet to Xbox Series X. What's next? This is literally the Pokemon of the console universe. What the hell is going on with these naming conventions? Please, just do the same thing as PlayStation. They went PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes they have Slims in there, but you know, it's not hard for me to understand what is what. But when you got Xbox saying, hey, purchase the Xbox Series X and Y and Z, sometimes B, like, come on, don't give me that shit. How am I supposed to keep track of all this crap? And I know I said that it was a pretty successful launch, and it is. You know, everyone now has an Xbox fridge in their living room and or bedroom, and they can get any of their favorite gamer goodies whenever they want at any point in time. But unfortunately for some, that it just isn't the case. Some had actually run into issues when they first bought this Xbox, and once it finally got on and they plugged it in and all that stuff, it happened to be bricked at start. And these could be due to a variety of reasons. Some of the facts that I've learned is that A, you have to be online all the time, or your Xbox just simply won't work. Unfortunately, you cannot skip this option. You have to sign in with a Microsoft account in order to use your Xbox. That's something that I'm not a big fan of, because sometimes I just want to be left alone and I just want to play games on my own and stuff like that. I don't really want to deal with anyone. I don't want to play with anyone. I just want to have a chill day with my dog on my side or my lap or whatever, and I'm playing video games, right? But with Xbox, you just can't do that. And some of these people that they're having these sorts of issues, they have run into these issues and they just don't know what's going on until they plug in the internet. Like this guy. Well, some sad news today. My Xbox Series X is officially broken. It turns on, but all I see is the black screen of death. But sometimes, even with all that and the knowledge that you have to make an account, it still doesn't work and requires a little more assistance. Take a look.
X, and I have no idea what to do. So here it is. I hooked it up. Everything seemed fine. And now I've been stuck on this screen for about 10 minutes. I can move the cursor around. But I can't sign in, I can't do anything. I can pull up this menu that says, hey, do you want to do stuff? But everything's grayed out. I tried shutting the console off at one point, and turning it back on, and it blinks here for a bit, and like the screen sort of powers down, but it sort of doesn't. God dang it. I sure hope that this gets fixed. But what the F? If I have the worst luck ever, please just work. Just work. I paid $500. I don't want to have to try and return you. Please, just work.
And I know you're saying, ooh, that really sucks. This guy waited and finally got one, and it came in broken. Are you kidding me? But you know what? It's not a sad story. It's actually a happy story. It turns into a happy story because guess what? He actually got it working. Dreamcast guy says, okay, so I got it working. The Xbox Live servers are crashing and the Xbox Series X can only turn on the first time by connecting to those servers. Had to spam log in for 30 minutes while eating a Hot Pocket, but it finally updated and let me into my $500 console. And this is kind of the problem that I'm talking about. I don't really like the fact that you have to be online all the time. And before someone points out the fact that I always play on PC, this isn't a PC versus console gaming war, master race, yada, yada, yada bullshit. I'm just pointing out the facts, okay? And I understand that being on PC, I kind of have to be online all the time. but it's different signing into Steam and selecting yourself as being offline, which you can do, as opposed to being on a console and having to be online all the time. And I know you can put yourself to appear offline, but that's not truly going offline until it gives you the option to do so, which again, you can do on Steam and other various clients on PC, which I'm very happy about because I don't like getting my data taken all the time. If I'm playing on your servers, yeah, go ahead. Take as much data as you want, siphon out my coom from my computer and, I'll turn the other cheek. I don't care. That's fine. But I'm glad that this guy got it fixed. It would have really sucked if he paid $500 and it went to shame. I would definitely be very sad. But that isn't just the only problem. There's actually certain problems within the Xbox itself. The software that's built onto the Xbox has been known to have some bugs and issues on launch day, which is today. For example, the 4K resolution at 120 Hz sometimes appears with corrupted imaging, which isn't too much of a problem because apparently there's updates that are going on right now as we speak to get this all patched. So take everything I say with a grain of salt because they will be patched probably by the end that you finish this video, to be honest. Also, quick resume doesn't work with some titles. If you don't know what quick resume is, it's actually a really cool feature that Xbox has implemented where you can be in one game and then you press the middle button on your controller and you can select the next game and it instantly boots you into the next game. It's kind of like halting your save state in one place and another place, and then you can just swap between the two maybe in a couple seconds. It's really neat if you're one of those types of gamers that like to play a lot of different games pretty much consistently. I'm not really one of those people. I like to play one game a day or so, but I know a couple of people that do that. So this would probably be the system for you, to be honest, if you like those kind of games, especially since when you get Game Pass, Game Pass is kind of a thing you have to get on Xbox. If you get Game Pass, you get about 100 plus titles off of that alone that you can download at any given time. And with the 1 terabyte space on the Xbox, that's actually quite nice. You can have a lot of games at your disposal there. But there's also been other issues like the Kinect not working, certain applications like the EA Play Hub not working, the BBC iPlayer app, etc., etc. There's a bunch of little things that aren't working too well right now, but they'll get them ironed out. And for the specs, the specs are looking pretty good. It says that it's up to 4K resolution with 120 FPS, but I wouldn't trust that necessarily because it really depends on how well optimized the game is for the console. So some games will probably do that. Honestly, if you have a 1080p TV, you're not going to notice it because guess what? The only way to play in 4K is to have a 4K TV. So if you don't have a 4K TV, it's not going to do you any good. However, you will be happy to know that most of the games now run at a solid 60 FPS, something that consoles have never had before. And I'll tell you right now, as a PC gamer, seeing anything 60 plus FPS, it looks so smooth and crisp. It's beautiful. You'll not be able to go back after this. But the SSD that's built in will be a nice touch because up until now, I guess SSDs are finally considered as next gen. But guess what? SSDs are actually becoming kind of an old technology. But it is much better than what they used to use, which was the regular HDDs. You'll definitely notice the speed boost when you start playing games and launching up the titles as you please. So it's really nice. It's a really nice fit, and I think it's doing a good job. It's doing a really damn good job. It's being really competitive. The only thing I really don't like about the Xbox is honestly the size of it. It looks like a fucking fridge, and I was unfortunately not lucky enough to get the real Xbox fridge. There's about one in the world, I think. So I just have to do with the next best thing, get this little mini fridge and put it on my pedestal somewhere, right? Or I could wait for the PS5 that looks like a fucking air conditioner. But hopefully I gave you some insight as to how the Xbox is going. It's doing pretty well as far as I can tell. It looks like a great console, and I'm looking forward to see what else lies beyond the Xbox's grasp. Don't forget to like this video, share to your friends, and subscribe to the channel for future content similar to this. Now, I wonder how well the PS5 is going to be when that first releases. Sony, please send me a copy before you guys dish them all out. Please, give me one! Give me one!